Alright everybody, we are back with game 3 of this exciting series. On the left we have Dave with Typhlosion Reshiram, and Chan on the right with Magnezone Emboar. Dave won the first game on turn 2. Chan won a longer second game where he just got set up and steamrolled Dave. So how's this gonna end up? We're gonna find out here. Nope. Dave did lose the second game, so he gets to choose who goes first, and obviously he's gonna choose to go first. There's no downside to going first. It's a complete advantage. You never really want to go second. Can't really think of a situation where you'd want to. So we do see Dave open with the collector. That's always a strong start. You know, it allows you to search for pretty much whatever you want. And it looks like I didn't see a Cleffa when Dave was searching through his deck, so either it's in his hand, it's in his prizes, or his hand is good enough to where he doesn't need it. The way he searched through his deck, though, I'm going to say it was prized. So we'll see what happens. Looks like he's got a Juniper in his hand, but not stuff he wants to discard. So we're going to see Chan start with Reshiram. Not the greatest starter. You know, he has a 2 retreat cost. You can't really retreat the Cleffa if you wanted to. And he plays a Juniper right away, and ouch. He discards Rare Candy, Magnezone, Emboar, Magnezone, and a switch. Ugh. Ugh. That is gross. So, ouch. So Chan, right off the bat, is down a Magnezone, an Emboar, a Rare Candy, and a Magnezone. That is the downside of running Professor Juniper. That's what you risk every time you play the card in your deck, and there's one from Dave. He discards a Typhlosion and a Junk Arm. Not nearly as bad, but yeah, both players, they had a Juniper right away. Let's see where they go from here, I guess. We see Dave put down a fire, Rare Candies into Typhlosion, and I don't know what's next. So I'm just trying to figure out what's actually going on here. We got some crazy first turns here. You know, something I did see in Dave's hand was he had a communication, and looks like he's got a Pokemon, so he could have played communication for Ninetales and used Roast Reveal with that fire. Maybe he overlooked that, but you know, it's something you gotta look for. Looks like he's gonna decide to Fireworks instead. I don't know if I agree with this, just because if Chan has an energy, now he's gonna be able to knock him out because those 2+ powers. And there's a communication. There's a Pignite. See what Chan gets here. Could be anything because I don't know the contents of his hand. Alright, we got a Magnezone. Wow. So, even though he discarded a Magnezone and a Rare Candy and a Magneton, he might get a turn 2 Magnezone still. And there we go. There's the Rare Candy, Magnezone. So, his hand's going to be a little better. We got the fire, so we'll be able to outrage the Vulpix for a knockout. And right off the bat, we're going to see Chan. There's a collector too. So it looks like he's going to stabilize just fine. You know, we'll see if those discarded cards at the beginning come back to bite him, but right now he's looking in the lead. Dave does have a Typhlosion, but he doesn't have anything beyond that. Whereas Chan has got that Magnezone. He got the he's gonna Reshiram because Dave decided to Fireworks for 40. The outrage knocks him out. And now here we are. So let's see what Dave gets done on his turn. He sends up that Reshiram, so he's gonna. Looks like he plays a Charon for 3. Gets a fire, so that's something he wanted. Communications in a Cyndaquil, it looks like. And he does have a Junk Arm in his hand, so we'll be able to see a Rare Candy Typhlosion, double Afterburner, Fire, and Blue Flare for 120 this turn. So even though that Fireworks earlier came back to bite him with the Outrage, it's going to save him here because he'll be able to outrage this Reshiram for a knockout. And here we go. There's definitely 2 fire in the discard at this point. We have a Fire, double Afterburner. There we go. And now Chan's going to be on the back foot. Does he have a follow-up to his first Reshiram? So already we've seen some crazy swings back and forth. We've seen the Juniper, discarding a bunch of resources. The fireworks for 40, the outrage knockout, and we are tied at 5-5 prizes. You know, once again, we can't see Dave's prizes, but I'll keep track of them for you. We'll have to see how strong Chan's hand is after that magnetic draw. He'll get another one this turn. There is a rare candy in the discard already from the Juniper. There's a second one from when he played one. So he's only got 2 left in his deck, I would think. He does have junk arms, of course. But getting out an Emboar this turn is going to be his main priority, I would think. If he can get rare candy, Emboar, and then 3 energy for a blue flare, you gotta think this is gonna be his game to win. There's just not gonna be a whole lot Dave can do to respond right away. He has no energy on the field other than his Reshiram right there. And if that gets knocked out, then he's gonna be in trouble. And we see another Juniper from Chan. Jeez. So 2 Junipers from Chan. You don't see most players use Juniper in a Magnezone deck just because your resources are so precious. And we can see here the drawback of having to discard your hand, but at the same time, we're seeing the advantage of being able to draw 7 cards. So, Juniper is a double-edged sword for sure. You have to deal with discarding your resources, but at the same time, it gives you a fresh hand of 7. So you gotta decide, is it worth the risk of playing? And in this case, it's both hurt and help Chan. So, I don't know what to make of it. So he's going to junk arm 2 lightnings away for a rare candy and Emboar, Inferno Fandango, a fire on there, and he can still use magnetic draw. So if he draws another fire here, he's in good shape. If not, this whole turn is going to be a waste. So it's hit or miss here. Puts down Cleffa, so I'm thinking him, oh, never mind. It's not a miss at all. So there's a blue flare, there's a knockout. And right now we have Chan ahead again, and how's Dave gonna recover from this one? So, 5 prizes for Dave, 4 for Chan. This is turning into a slugfest really quickly. We got another Juniper. So Juniper's all over the place, man. We got a Reshiram. What else do we have here? You know, one thing I'm concerned about is how quickly Chan is burned through his deck. You saw he had to junk arm away 2 lightnings. There's a lot of energy in the discard already. He's used Blue Flare twice. Actually, he's used Blue Flare once, but there were 2 energy on that first Reshiram that went to the discard. So, is he going to be able to finish out this game? The biggest problem for Magnezone has always been energy, energy, energy. Do you have enough energy to attack enough to take 6 prizes? Is he going to be able to actually close the game out? So that's something you got to keep an eye on for the rest of the game. And if I'm Dave, I'm probably noticing this as well, maybe thinking, maybe I should switch up my plan here. And maybe, you know, not worry about taking prizes so much as maybe using Flare Destroy and discarding his energy. That's another way to win. If he runs out of energy, I win the game. He's got to be wary of cards like Energy Retrieval, Flower Shop Lady, Fisherman, things that can get those energy back. That's his only concern at this point. But let's see, he has an energy on Cyndaquil, but he retreats to Reshiram. Looks like his hand isn't very strong. He plays a catcher, brings out Magnezone, okay. Puts 20 on his own Reshiram because of Afterburner. And then he's going to Outrage. Now I see he's got a Reshiram in his hand. Not sure why he didn't play that down, but he does have another Reshiram in case this one gets knocked out. But at this point, Dave's got to be scared. You know, he's already down a prize. He's looking at Magnezone and an Emboar again. His hand is small, doesn't have a whole lot of options. Where does he go from here? And he did the only thing he could do. He catchered out something with a higher retreat cost, and he's trying to buy time. I think most players would actually go for the Emboar in this case. I know I would have personally, just because I saw Chan discarded his one Emboar at the beginning of the game. You know, even if he runs 3, there's a chance the 3rd one could be prized. If he only runs 2 and you knock out that only Emboar in play, that means both the Emboars are in the discard and you're gonna win the game. So we do see a junk arm for a switch. And let's see. I mean, he's gonna magnetic draw for a full 6 cards. So we'll see him draw 6 here. and he's going to be at the mercy of what he draws because, you know, obviously he didn't have a hand. There was nothing set for him. If he has 2 fires, he can blue flare again. If he has a lightning and a fire, he could lost burn with Magnezone. There's just there's a lot of options, but they all depend on what he draws. There's always a chance you could just draw no way to attack this turn, and if that's the case, well, he can't do anything. And Dave's gonna have a chance to come back. So we're stuck at this awkward point here. Chan's gotta be aware of his resources. That's gonna be the biggest hurdle for him this game. He's gotta manage his resources properly. He's gotta make sure he doesn't run out of stuff to attack. That's gonna be the biggest problem, because all the stuff in Magnezone, oh my. And we see another Juniper from Chan. Oof. That's brutal. I don't know what he just discarded, but I'm sure it can't be good, whatever he discarded. So we see a third Juniper. You know, I don't know what he discarded there. We can't really see it. You know, it's obvious he wanted to go for blue flare this turn. He wanted to keep the pressure on Dave. He wants to take this knockout. But at this point in the game, you have to think maybe that Juniper was a little overambitious. Maybe that's going to be what breaks him and makes him run out of just supplies. What can he do? And is he going to run out of steam? Is he going to be able to take these 6 prizes? You know, I can't see what he discarded. Maybe it was nothing useful. If that's the case, hey, nothing wrong with that Juniper. I'm fine with it. But if he actually discarded some resources that he needed, I don't think that was a good plan. So we did see Dave top decked into an Oak's New Theory, it looked like. But now we're going to have to see what he does from here. And, you know, we just got a glimpse of what's in Chan's discard pile. You can see a lot of energy. A lot of energy. You know, if he doesn't have a Fisherman or an energy retrieval, how is he going to get those back? And I also saw half of Rayquaza Deoxys Legend, so that's brutal, you know. One of the perks about running Emboar is you get to run the Rayquaza Deoxys Legend. It uses Ozone Buster to take 2 prizes at once. And it also, in a way, it conserves your energy because it's 1 less attack you need to win the game. Even though you discard those 3 fire for Ozone Buster, or however many you have to discard, it turns it into a 5 prize game instead of a 6 prize game because you're taking prizes 5 and 6 at the same time. Alright, so looks like he's still got 3 energy left, so he's got enough for this attack, but can he do anything beyond this? Who knows? We did see last game he has energy retrieval and flower shop lady, so there are energy ways to get energy back from the discard. He definitely plays them. But does he have them? I'm sure he'll be able to draw into them with Magnetic Draw. So it looks like at this point Chan should be just barely able to squeak out the win. If he has a retrieval and a flower shop lady, that should be just enough to squeak out a win with Lost Burn and Blue Flare. So if I had to guess right now, I would say Chan would win because we're sitting at 5 prizes for Dave and 2 for Chan. The only things Chan's got to worry about are 1, like I've been saying, running out of energy, 2, running out of cards in his deck. He's played 3 Junipers, he's been using Magnetic Draw over and over and over. He can also run out of attackers, that's something. He had to discard a Magnezone early on, and a Magneton, and a Rare Candy. I saw there was a Magnemite in his discard, so who knows? You know, this is the second Reshiram that's going to get knocked out. He could run out of attackers, who knows? So, right now we have Dave sending up a Reshiram, you know, doing the only thing he can do. Gonna Blue Flare for a knockout, and yep, there we go. So Dave's gonna take his second prize, so it's at 4 for Dave, 2 for Chan. Normally this would be the point where the Magnezone player drops Rayquaza Deoxys Legend, uses Ozone Buster to win, but unfortunately Chan used Juniper to discard a half of it, so he doesn't have that option anymore. He's gonna have to take 2 more prizes to win this game. You know, he's gonna have to put together the resources somehow to get this going. You just gotta do 2 more attacks basically to win the game. Alright, so he plays a collector, takes a look at his deck. This might be to thin his deck, or to search out some stuff, I don't know. All I know is he played the collector, so he doesn't have Flower Shop Lady in his hand right now, or a Fisherman. So he doesn't have those. I know he plays Energy Retrieval though, so will he have that? Puts down his deck kind of slowly, which is strange. Maybe he saw something he didn't like. Catches out a Typhlosion. Then he uses Eek. So that was kind of a slow turn. You know, this whole game, he's been going. Juniper, knockout, Juniper, knockout, Juniper, knockout, over and over and over. It's fast paced. He's taken his first 4 prizes with ease. And now it just kind of slowed down to a screeching halt. He has to use Eek. So, is Chan actually out of stuff? That's something we gotta worry about. It's not very often you see an Eek this late in the game. But now Dave's got 3 Typhlosions out, 2 Reshirams. You know, maybe this is his opening. Maybe he can actually come back. We see a Flare Destroy for a knockout. And now, who's Chan gonna send out next? The only attacker he's got on the field is Magnezone. After that, Reshiram can knock him out in 1 hit with Blue Flare, because there's already 40 on it. So Chan is taking his time on this decision. Decides to push up Magnezone. Thinks about it. You know, the way he's hesitating so much made me think he played Collector and looked through his deck and then just saw there was nothing left. So he plays a Communication, shuffles on the bottom half of Rayquaza's Deoxys Legend. He looks through, he doesn't take anything. You know, even a Junk Arm won't help him. He hasn't played an Energy Retrieval yet. I know he had the Junk Arm, he took it back though. So he's just looking through his discard. You know, he's really hesitating here. Is he actually out of resources? The only way I could see that happening is if his last 2 prizes are actually Retrieval and Flower Shop Lady. And if those are the only 2 forms of recovery he plays, that would be pretty unlikely, to say the least. But that might be what's happening here. He did thin his hand for Communication, so maybe there's something left in his deck. He just doesn't have it in his hand. So he could still draw with Magnetic Draw. We'll have to see though. He's taking his time, that's for sure. So after burning through his deck so quickly, maybe now he's thinking, uh-oh, I might have gone a little too fast. Maybe I burned through my deck a little too quickly. And, uh-oh. So, I don't know where he goes from here. You know, now Dave has closed the prize gap a little bit. He's down to 3 to Chan's 2. Chan doesn't take a prize this turn. It's looking ugly. He looks at his deck. Looks like there's about 5 or 6 cards left in there. Doing some math real quick. You know, he spent the whole game just burning through his deck, maybe thinking he was so far ahead that he didn't have to care about his resources that much. But now he gets to this point and he's like, wait, he conceded, and uh-oh. It looks like Chan burned through his deck. I saw the Flower Shop Lady was the last prize, and the other one was the Energy Retrieval. So he just didn't have any way to get energy back, and he ran out of steam. After that huge start, he was just rolling through Dave, knockout after knockout after knockout, but all those Junipers caught up to him. All the wasted resources he had to discard, it all caught up to him. And, you know, it wouldn't catch up to him if the retrieval and the flower shop lady weren't prized. If he had one or the other, he probably would have closed the game out. He probably could have pulled it off with the flower shop lady shuffling in a Reshiram and some energy. He could have pulled it off with retrieval and then junk arms just to get back the retrieval. But that's it. He didn't have either of them. All his energy were gone, and he ended up losing. So, props to Dave for hanging in there and not giving up. You know, he pulled out a victory, but you know, in this case, you got to say Chan did more to beat himself than Dave did to win. You know, the ball was in Chan's court. He just burned through his resources. You know, you can't expect the retrieval and the flower shop lady to be prized, so I can't blame him at all. But it's just a tough way to lose. But that's what happens. It's just a lesson to pay attention to every detail in Pokemon. You never know what's going to come back to bite you. So, looks like Dave's going to move on to the finals. The winner of the other match was Joliet. So, we're going to have Dave, Typhlosion Reshiram, facing off against Joliet with Yanmega Magnezone. And we're going to see an epic finals. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was exciting. We'll be back for the finals soon. And take care. See you guys later.